This is a special episode. You know why? I'm coming hard for these rats. Do I get upset about them? No, it's more like, listen, their word means nothing to me because I lived it. I did it. I walked that walk. And that's something that they never were able to do.
Yeah.
And they gotta look themselves in the mirror every day and say, fuck, I wish I was the man that I fucking said I was to be. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know if I was gonna make it out of there. He said, if you wanna cooperate against Whitey after the fact, you can get out of jail immediately. They all say, oh, I did time, big time. I was with big, tough guys in prison. They were all in cheese factories. Look it up, where everyone else was a rat in there. This is a special episode. You know why? I'm coming hard for these rats. They got a lot to say. They go on these podcasts, they talk about what men they were and stuff like that. You've lost that manpower. You have that no more.
All right, so it goes without saying that you don't like rats. You wrote Rat Bastards.
New York Times bestseller.
New York Times bestseller. You wrote Rat Bastards. Great book. It does a great job of telling your story. You've done a great job of telling your story, all sorts of podcasts, on the news, everything. But in my opinion, you only cover the particulars and you don't really get into the psychological components of what really drives you. And you say that you hate rats, and I don't doubt that. But in my opinion, getting to know you and just respecting you so much, there's so much more than just hating the rats. So we'll get to that. I know there's a few names you want to go after particularly, and we're going to get to that. We're going to give your fans what they want. But before we do that, I want to really get into your mind, and I want to try to share with people as much as possible what really drives you. Because getting to know you over the past 8 months, it's been an honor, it's been a privilege. There are very, very few men that I can say that I respect as much as you. My best friend Rex growing up, his father Bo, just unbelievable man, like unbelievable cowboy. He's one of those men, and you are one of those men too, where even though I'm 46 years old, I still look up to you. So I just want to say thank you. But I want to do your fans a favor. I want to do them justice, and I want to really try to share with them everything that I've learned about what really drives you. So is that okay with you? We start with that?
Let's go.
Okay. All right. So the real depth of your story, the reason why, you know, those fucking idiots trying to say that Whitey extorted you, the reason why it's not only is it not true, but it doesn't really cover just who you really are, right? So you were in Southie, you knew who the fuck Whitey was. You knew that it could have been suicide to have your own operation selling coke, and you still said fuck it, and you did it yourself, right?
I did, yeah.
Yep, you did it yourself. And then Whitey finds out about it, calls you to that infamous meeting with the Uzi, right?
Well, no. At that time, I was working with his guys.
His guys, but still.
And I was actually supplying his guys, okay. And they actually recruited me at that time. And then shit hit the fan, where there was some cheating going on, and the head guy at the time, Billy Shea, he testified in Whitey's trial. Before he passed away, and he had brought me up and talked about how we recruited Red Shea, and Red Shea was a maverick, and he had the best cocaine going, and
but talk about why Whitey recruited you. It was for a very specific reason.
He didn't recruit me personally. It was his men who recruited me, and then after the fact, when shit hit the fan, that's when he said, well, this guy needs to go, and this guy is going to stay. And that's when the Uzi came in, and he wanted to see if I would fold or not. Because I never had been arrested before. I hadn't done time. I was a young kid, young buck, trying to prove myself. And I looked up to Whitey. I did. I tried to emulate him in a lot of different ways as I was growing up. So he put me through the test.
But he had to test you because he knew the DEA was in Southie trying to make a case.
He knew that.
And so you were the insulation to protect him.
That is correct.
That's what I'm trying to get at, is that the true depth of the betrayal. Because when you hear Sammy the Bull, he talks about, oh, well, Gotti was going to kill me. You know, he was going to betray me. So what I'm trying to get at is that there was that same level of betrayal with you and Whitey, and you still said, I'm not a fucking rat. Nope. So that Uzi test was to see who you really were, and could you be trusted, because he knew you were going to get arrested. He knew the DEA was making a case against you. So he does the Uzi test, and that in and of itself, I mean, you knew who Whitey was. We've had these conversations in Southie talking about the, murders he did. I think he was a fucking serial killer. And, how many people could have Whitey Bulger holding a fucking Uzi to them saying, I'm going to kill you unless you tell me who your guys are, and you said no. Do what you got to do. Yep. So that's how he knew that you were who you were. So when I have a rat speak against me, it's like, do I get upset about them? No, it's more like, listen, their word means nothing to me because I lived it. I did it. I walked that walk. And that's something that they never were able to do. Yeah. And they got to look themselves in the mirror every day and say, fuck, I wish I was the man that I fucking said I was to be. In that moment with Whitey Bulger holding a Uzi to you, was it difficult? Did you have to talk yourself out of giving up the names? Or was it just like not even a fucking choice, not even a consideration for 1 second? I told him, when you want to know other people, I told him whatever they have, it's through me. Everything is through me. I took full responsibility. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know if I was going to make it out of there. Yeah. I didn't know that. That fucking guy is, like you said, a serial killer. But that's how he knew he could trust you. And that's he knew he could trust you. In the first opportunity you had to rat on him, you didn't know that he was a snitch. You didn't know that he betrayed you like that. And they were talking about 20 to life, and you still proudly. Yeah, it was a CCE, 848. Yep. A continuing criminal enterprise. That's remarkable in and of itself because you were facing so much time and you were so young. But to me, the truly just unbelievable, remarkable choice, and what really just says you are unlike any man I've ever met, is when they came to you when you were in prison. You had another, 6 years to go, something like that. Yep. And they said Whitey was a rat. He essentially put you in that position. My attorney, Tony Cardinelli, he said, listen, I gotta tell you, there's an opportunity. I know what the answer is gonna be, John. I know, but as a lawyer, legally, I have to tell you. I said, what is it? He said, if you want to cooperate against Whitey after the fact, you can get out of jail immediately. Yeah. And at that point, your testimony wouldn't have, arguably wouldn't even have harmed him. So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you really understand the position that you were at right there, your testimony wouldn't have harmed him. He would have gotten the same amount of time with or without you. So, I mean, a lot of people would justify ratting in right there. Hey, my testimony wouldn't do anything. It's not really ratting. Even after the fact. Even after the fact. He used me as that's what I'm saying. But used me as a sacrificial lamb. That's what and it was someone who you looked up to as a father, and you find out that you were a sacrificial lamb, and you could have gotten back 6 years of your life, and you still said no. That's the moment that I in all of your podcasts, and you're a great storyteller. And a lot of people, there were some people out there that they don't understand
Why? They're like, that guy was a rat anyway, and he did that to you. So if you did that against him, you're justifying it. They don't get it. They don't get the depth of it, and that's okay. That's okay. The depth of it is that you stick to your word. You stick to your word.
What I've learned from you is that it doesn't matter how hard life knocks you down. If you hold on to your integrity, you can always get back up. And not only can you always get back up, but you can get back up better than before. And that is something that you stick to, and you've shown your...
I learned that throughout my years of growing up in the street in Southie. I was, being jumped by older kids, stuck in the gutter, spit on. I didn't stay down. I kept getting back up. I kept getting back up. So those experiences of that type of life had strengthened me in doing that.
Yeah.
It gave me that strength to do that. And then eventually I started at the age of 5, after the beatings, to box.
Yeah.
The beatings are gonna stop. They're gonna stop because I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna turn the table around on you. And eventually that's what happened. And it just, that experience in itself is what's given me my strength throughout my whole life.
Yeah. Oh, it's remarkable. I mean, it truly is. I think too, like, you look at, Sammy the Rat, or, Sammy the Bull, as, other people know him. I look at him and I just think, like, this slimy piece of shit weasel. He does like celebrity appearances and people are all excited to be around him, and I'm just like, I wouldn't want to be within 10 feet of him because I wouldn't want his fucking energy. And he can sit there and say, oh, he's still a millionaire, he has all this attention, he has all these things, but you look at him and I don't think there is anything in his character, anything in his life that's fucking remarkable. Like, who the fuck cares? And you go in and you look at the YouTube comments on his channel and people are like, oh, I love these stories, and it's just like, who the fuck cares?
I was a big, tough gangster who killed people.
A little boy, right? Like an 8-year-old boy or something?
A young kid who killed people, beat people up, whatever, showed, toughness and everything else in the streets. But when it came time to face that, when it came time to show, hey, listen, I accept the responsibility for what I've done wrong. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He was really never a tough guy. He had a facade.
Well, he's a selfish piece of shit who's addicted to the attention. Because look at it, he was given a get out of jail free card. Anybody else would have been appreciative of that, and he gets right back into trouble.
I had guys who worked for me, and I had a problem in Florida, and there was a robbery. I eventually, got my money back. But, there were guns involved. And I had 2 guys that worked for me, and they were so jealous because I was making all the money and I had the balls to do it, that they were laughing on the phone when they heard about the problem that I had. And one of them said, too bad he didn't get shot. I afforded these guys, when they came to me for a job, to make money because they needed it for themselves and their families. I gave them homes. I paid for their homes. I paid for their cars. The kids got in trouble in the street, and they needed a lawyer. I got the lawyer for them. And when I heard that on those tapes, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they had that type of hatred for me. For what? I did nothing but good for you. Now, mind you, I heard these tapes while I was, going to trial. I could have said, you know what? Fuck these guys. That's the way they think of me? That's what they're talking about, talking behind my fucking back? Well, guess what? I'm gonna fucking rat. I'm gonna rat. Fuck them. But I didn't do that. And I wouldn't do that. Because I stayed true to what I was taught. I stayed true to me. Even if that other person cannot stand up, that doesn't mean I can't.
Do you think, like, you know, Gene Borrello, Sammy the Bull, what's the other one? Arillotta. You know, my perception from the outside looking in.
These guys, they all say, oh, I did time, big time. I was with big, tough guys in prison. They were all in cheese factories. Look it up. They went to prisons where everyone else was a rat in there. They weren't with solid guys. Because if they weren't put in a prison, a real prison with solid guys, they'd be dead. They'd be dead.
The hate and the criticism, though, I see, they look at you and they see a man that they'll never be able to amount to. You understand? Like,
oh, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And you know what? Good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at it too. Like, didn't Borrello just get in trouble again for beating his girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, for the fifth time or something.
Yeah, it seems like all the fucking rats are women beaters. It really does. It seems like there's a connection between that.
Well, look at this Arillotta.
Yeah, and his fucking mother. Yelling at his mother, right?
He's yelling at his elderly mother on a video, complaining about Joey Molino, banging the table with the bottle of wine, screaming at his mother, this fucking Molino, blah, 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 blah. What type of man does that to an elderly woman, his own mother? There's something, that's not a man. And then a guy who took him in, a boss who took him in Springfield, solid guy, well-respected man, he fabricated a story. Oh, I think he's talking to an FBI agent, when the guy was not. So he went over his head to get him executed. They gave him the okay because they believed what he was saying. It wasn't true. He killed a fucking innocent man.
So Arillotta,
not only did he kill an innocent man that was a guy who took him in, okay, but he ordered the hit to kill him. He used two other guys to do it. He used other guys to do it, okay? Those guys are doing life in prison right now, and he's walking the street. And this son of a bitch, I don't even know if he did 5 years, in a cheese factory, snitch factory. All these guys, they're not in real prisons because they would have never made it out of there. I can guarantee you that. They would have never made it out of there.
So he had somebody killed for supposedly being a snitch. It wasn't even fucking true. And the two guys he used are doing life.
And one of them is the one who killed Whitey Bulger in prison.
But then he turned into a fucking snitch himself?
He turned into a snitch too.
What kind of fucking mental gymnastics do you have to do to justify that and still feel like a man?
These are the people that other people were saying, hey, let me hear his story. He was a tough guy. Well, he might have been a tough guy at one time. But once you become a rat, you lose it all. You lose everything when you become a rat. Just remember that. And you know that. All you rats out there know that. You know that because you got to look in that mirror every day, and all you see is a weak rat.
Well, the only thing I would say is I don't think they lost anything because I don't think they had it from the beginning. It was all a fucking facade.
Yeah.
It was all a fucking facade. My test is, I call it the foxhole test. And I always look at a man and I'm like, okay, would I get in a foxhole with them?
Well, it's funny you say that because I use that analogy also. And I have some military friends, and I'd say, who would you want in the foxhole with you? That rat or me?
Well, it's just you're in the foxhole, and the soldiers come up and they fucking surround you, and the rat has an opportunity to get away and leave you there and you fucking die, he's gonna do it. Or a real man is gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna fucking die with them, because that's what a man would do.
How about this scenario? You're in the foxhole, you turn around, you go to say something to the guy who's in there with you, and he's not there no more. Yeah. He left you cold and dry. This is what these rats do. That's exactly what they do. How could you believe he orders a hit? Right? He orders a hit.
I know that. I didn't know the depths of that. Where it's like,
yeah, he orders the hit, and he says, "Oh, I was facing life in prison." Well, yeah. Hello, you're in the gangster world. What the fuck did you expect if you got caught for something like that? And he says, I'm gonna rat on those guys, the guys that I asked to do it. Those guys are doing life in prison. They're not getting out. And let me tell you something. He wasn't in a prison with guys like that, because if he was, as a rat, he would have never made it home.
Yeah.
He would have never made it home. Just like Whitey Bulger. He never made it home because they put him into a real prison with guys who were doing life, and he never made it. No matter how old he was, they despise rats. They do. They took their punishment for the wrongs they've done. I'm not saying what they did was right by any means. I don't condone that. But what I'm saying is they accepted it. They accepted what the punishment as men. It takes a man to accept getting life. It takes a man accepting 15, 20 years in prison. How many people we had on a show? 60 years sentence. Fought his way through the court system, out after 20, 23 years. Yeah. Another man sentenced to life we had on this show. This is the show for this.
At 17 years old.
At 17 years old. And then you got weasel like this guy walking around, Arillotta. I was a tough guy. I was this. I was that. You were nobody. And you're still nobody.
Well, you know what I think, too? You look at the difference. You look at Sammy the Bull, you look at Arillotta, you look at Borrello. They're all out. They're all fucking rats. And they could be using their stories and the attention that they've gotten for the good of others. And they're not. They're all being selfish pieces of shit. But the two people you mentioned that were on this show before, one was Mark, one was Tyler. Mark had a fucking 60-year sentence for 20 fucking years before he got it overturned. So he basically was dealing with life for fucking 20 years. And he's starting something right now called Thriving the Impossible. He's trying to use his experience to help people. You look at fucking Tyler. Tyler took a life sentence at fucking 17 years old. What's Tyler out here doing right now? He's out here trying to use his story and his experience to help people. You, yourself, what are you doing right now? You got out of prison. You didn't fucking go back to that life. You picked up a fucking hammer and started doing fucking construction like a fucking man. And then now you're out here starting this show to fucking help people live with integrity, and you're using your story to help others.
And to be
so that's the biggest.
And to be able to express their story and the difficulties that they've gone through, right?
Of course, yeah.
And now they're helping people.
Well, the thing is, like,
I don't know. I don't understand. Why does somebody want to listen to a rat?
Well, especially too because
seriously, I don't get it.
Well, because the rat only cares about themselves. They don't give a fuck about their
lying
viewer.
Son of a bitches.
Well, I know they're liars, but so a rat is telling a story for attention solely for their benefit. They are not telling a story to try to help their viewer. You have honest fucking concern for your viewers. You care about your viewers. You want to help them fucking live, happier, more fulfilling lives. You care about other people. Even though you're a fucking criminal, even though you went to prison and did all of this shit, you still care about other people. And ultimately, like, that's what makes us fucking human. You look at these rats, they only give a fuck about themselves.
You hit the nail on the head earlier. If I didn't care for other people, I would have just ratted like they did.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yep.
I would have just gave up everybody.
Yeah,
I had that chance,
I know.
but I didn't because I believe in myself. I love myself because, you know, if you can't love yourself, then who can you love? You know? And just the integrity part of it. I'm a man.
Yeah.
If I do something wrong, I'll accept it. And I'll try to make the best out of it after the fact. These guys here, they're not making the best of it.
Yeah.
They're just spewing their rat rhetoric. I don't know why anybody would like or wants to listen to a rat.
Well, they have nothing to teach them about life.
And they're only going to take.
They're only going to take
They're
without
only
giving
going to
back.
take.
Yeah. I don't see Sammy the Bull as giving a rat's ass about any one of his listeners, you know what I mean, and his viewers. He wouldn't fucking give them the shirt, you know what I mean, off his back. And you try to respond to every fucking comment. You bring it up like, wow, look at what this show is doing for
I've
people.
helped people who are down and out in life. I've helped them out and said, you know, to get a job.
Yeah.
I've helped friends have come to me, hey, can you help me, you know, my son get into the union or something like that and show him a better path in life? Absolutely. I'll do whatever I can for somebody.
You're still out there training young boxers, and you're not making a fucking dime.
I'm not making a nickel. I'm out there training young fighters, and I just do it for the love of it.
I was about to say, there's literally nothing in it for you other than the love of the sport and feeling good about helping young men out. And you do it after fucking swinging a hammer all day, working a hard construction job, and rather than going home to your beautiful wife and laying down on the couch, you know, and fucking watching TV, you choose to go fucking help these young men out for the love of the sport. And
that's integrity.
it is. It's not even integrity. Like, that's just being fucking human. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you don't have that in life, I think that's why the rats are so addicted to the attention, is because the attention is supposed to fill a void, and the attention will never fill the void. And they're always going to...
They're trying to fill the void because they know they weren't the man that they said they were.
Yep.
They're not the man that they said they were.
Yeah.
Because if they were, they wouldn't be rats. They wouldn't be rats.
You think there's ever any redemption for a rat?
No.
No. You think it's a line, once you cross it, never coming back from it?
Yep. It's like firing a bullet out of a gun. You can't bring it back.
You think that's part of the reason why there's just so much hate and negativity towards you, is because you're just a constant reminder of...
Oh, they hate the fuck out of me.
I know.
They're rats. All those rats out there cannot stand me.
And it's crazy, too, because the criticisms they wage against you would be one thing if they're accurate, but the fact that they have to lie through their fucking teeth to have, you know, the criticisms against you. It's kind of like, you know, like you look at prosecutors. The gentleman, you know, you had yesterday in the fucking Diddy trial. Okay, if he really did it, then great, send him to prison for life. But why do you have to sit there and, you know, coerce somebody to try to tell a fucking lie? Like, do you just want to send him to prison? Is that the fucking goal? Or is it because he did something wrong? So it's the same thing with you. It's
they'll go at all cost.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. And the criticism against you is at all cost, because the goal is not to tell the truth. The goal is just to bash you. Whatever. Because...
Listen, I don't care about any
Oh, I
rat.
know you don't.
I do not care about any rat. Whatever a rat spews, again, I will say this again. Whatever a rat spews, it's like duck feathers, right? Water going off the duck feathers, because they have no meaning. They have no meaning. They don't even know what their meaning is because they're rats. bottom line. Their word means nothing.
Who do you think's the worst one?
I group them all together. There's not, well, this one or that one, but I mean, I think they're all the same.
Yeah.
Seriously, there's no different, and they all get the same excuse. Well, I was facing life in prison. Yeah? So you're facing fucking life in prison. You knew what you were fucking doing. You knew what you were doing. You took another man's fucking life. And then you didn't even do it yourself. You had other people do it, and you gave them up. So essentially, like they worked for you, right? Obviously, when you do something like that, right? You gave them up to save your fucking soul, to save your ass. But you sold your soul. You sold your soul. You sold your soul to the government. So what mob do you belong to now? The government mob. I'm a government rat.
That's all they can say.
That's all they can say. I'm a government rat. Again, getting back to the foxhole.
Yeah.
Imagine a guy in the foxhole like that with you. Whew. If I ever was in a foxhole, I guarantee you, and I wasn't, if I served in the military, listen, even if I didn't serve in the military, but if there was a war today and somebody came, or some country was entering our land now, I guarantee you, I don't care, no matter what age I am or whatever, guess what? I'm fighting. I'm fighting.
Yeah.
I'm fighting. And guess what? I'll be in that foxhole, and I won't be running. So when that guy that I'm in there with, you don't have to worry about me running out of that foxhole.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, if you had a guy like that, one of those rats, and I seen him getting out of that foxhole and running, I'll tell you what, I'd take the shot at him and leave him there.
Yeah.
You coward.
Would they be the ones selling the secrets to the other fucking side, being traitors?
I'll tell you where he is. I'll tell you where everybody is.
Yeah. And to me, I think that's like the real core of the issue, is that it's just utter selfishness, and the most miserable people in life only care about themselves, and the happiest people in life care about others more than they care about themselves. And that's honestly, like, when I look at you, I see someone that you would give your family and friends and loved ones the shirt off your fucking back, even if it was gonna fucking kill you. And even though you got that hot Irish temper, you're still unbelievably fucking happy. You're admirable. You have something in life that those rats will never have. And it's just, like I said, like, to me, it's like the core concept of being human and being alive. Like, I don't want to be on this planet, by myself. But if you only care about yourself and you don't care about other human beings, you really are on this planet by yourself, and it's a miserable fucking existence.
So I had this rat say something that, I know this guy that you knew, and he says that you're a piece of shit. You know this and that. I threw a message. So I said, I know that guy personally. So what did I do? I contacted him. He said, yeah, I was a friend of his one time until he became the rat. I was a friend of his. And he said, I actually liked the guy. But when he became a rat, I didn't condone that.
Yeah.
He said, and anytime if your name ever come up, guess what? Nothing but the ultimate respect, Red. I have that in writing. I saved it. So when this lying son of a bitch says something, I have it in writing from that individual. These rats, they'll say anything. They'll lie through their teeth. Their word means nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and they're so easy to prove wrong. They really are. It's like taking candy from a baby, if you will. They're so easy to prove wrong. And they just spew shit. They just spew stuff. Just shit. How about, like you said, how about something positive? They can't be positive.
Yeah.
Because they're living with themselves and looking in that mirror every day saying, I'm a rat. I'm a rat. Imagine living like that. I could never live like that. I could never live like that. I could never give my soul up for that.
Well, I think even the comparison between you and Sammy the Bull and how you've both aged, you know, like you, I always joke and say you need to start a skincare line because you look like you're in your 40s, you know, and you look at Sammy the Bull and he looks like the shell of a fucking man because he is, you know what I mean? Like his insides are fucking eating him because he knows he's a rat piece of shit and he absolutely has not aged well. And it just looks like at any moment he could just fall over fucking dead. To me personally, I think what goes on psychologically is more important than what goes on physically. And he's living with those fucking demons eating him up.
He looks like a rat.
Yep. Yeah, he really does. In his old age, he really does.
You look at his face.
He's a shell.
He's got that rat face.
Yep.
That structure, if you will.
He's been in a few appearances. I don't even know how fucking old he is now, but he's an old man. And he's sitting there dancing at like these fucking pool parties up against these young fucking girls. Like I guarantee if he fucking had the opportunity, he'd be a fucking pedophile piece of shit too. Like to me, you just look at him and he just a scumbag, just all around. Like who in the fuck is in, you know, that age dancing around young girls?
The Arillotta in Springfield, the rat that he is, he I guess according to his wife, ex-wife and all that and everything, he was banging his wife's sister who was 15 years old.
Wow.
And it was more than one girl supposedly at that age.
Well, look at the way he talked to his mother. I mean, that's inexcusable.
That video of him speaking to his mother across the table, screaming at her. She's like, I wonder what's going through her mind.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a shame. It was really a pathetic video. A pathetic video that he put up.
Yeah.
It was
well, it's so pathetic where I'll be honest with you. If I was in your position and someone like him was criticizing me, I mean, it's just like what you said. It's like water off a duck's back because there isn't an ounce of fucking respect that you have for him. So it's like if you don't respect him, who the fuck cares what he says about you?
I don't respect any rat.
I know.
None.
I'll be honest with you, though. I can't even believe that he was in the fucking mafia because I think he looks like such a weak fucking piece of shit. I can't see any real man taking fucking orders from him. Like to me, just absolutely does not look like any sort of person that, you know, could be a fucking captain, could be any sort of leader. He just looks like just a fucking bitch, plain and simple.
I mean, listen, a lot of these guys, they were tough at one time. They were able to dish it, but they were never able to accept it.
It was just an act, though. They were never fucking tough.
Well, it's like, I'll go back to the analogy of boxing. A good fighter is able to a good fighter, a good warrior, isn't able to just give it. They're able to take it, to get through the adversity in life, and to be able to stay in there and still fight. These guys had none of that. They didn't take them long to say, show me the deal. Let me take the easy way out.
3-slap confession, right? Once to get him to talk, twice to get him to shut up.
And I don't understand why people would look up to any rat. Any rat. I don't understand it. If there's anything they have to teach you, it's to teach you what? The rat? Or is it the thing, you can look at it the other side, they're teaching me not to be like a rat.
Yeah.
They're pathetic people. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is, you know? But as far as these rats and all these rats and what they say, I don't care. I don't care what they say, because their words mean nothing to me.
So then your message is more for the viewer. It's not to direct hate at the rats.
Exactly.
It's more for the viewer.
100%.
And what I've heard from you is, you know, we talk about the comments on the show, and you are just unbelievably appreciative for the type of viewers that have found you, because they truly
1,000%
respect the message. They get it. They understand what it's about.
I got people messaging me that watch the show, or watching me and saying, Mr. Shea, thank you for the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for showing me a strong side, a solid side. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that how many times I've gotten messages like that.
There's been a few that have said they read your book in prison, and that they felt better about their decision not to cooperate
right
after reading your book in prison.
Yep. And that there is so gratifying. It really is. It's a great accomplishment. And there were guys that are doing time, they're not going to be able to get out. And they don't have a voice. They don't have a voice on the outside saying, hey, yeah, I fucked up, but I accepted full responsibility without putting that on anyone else's shoulders. I would love to be able to put a show inside prison and talk to guys like that and say, listen, you did it, okay. You got caught, okay. But you accepted full responsibility. What do you got to say? What can you say now if you have the opportunity?
Yeah.
What could you say now to maybe inspire somebody not to go that route or not to be where you are today? Right?
Yep.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm going to start it. So all the guests that I have on, I want to start a wall for stand-up guys, all women. And put their names on there, kind of like a Hall of Fame, right? But I also want to do one, right, for rats, and put their names up on that wall, and that's the rat wall. Which wall would you rather be on? Would you rather be your name or be on that rat wall like Borrello, Sammy the Bull, Arillotta, Alite, Whitey Bulger, Stevie Flemmy? I could just keep on going down. Do you want to be in that rat wall, or would you rather be on that stand-up person's wall? And it doesn't necessarily have to be that you went to prison.
Yeah.
Because we have people on that never been to prison, but just change their lives around. Maybe they were an addict and change their lives around. And they're doing great now. And they're inspiring other people. That's stand up. They're on the stand-up wall. They're on the stand-up wall. You have a guy who traveled the country, 60,000 miles we had on. Traveling the country and bringing young inner city kids
To be entrepreneurs.
to be entrepreneurs. Stand-up guy. Guy who got 60 years, fought his case, overturned it, and got out after 23 years, accepted full responsibility for his wrongs. Full responsibility for his wrongs. And he realized it. But he accepted that responsibility. He's on that wall. Stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Then there's the rat wall.
One of the things that we can do too, we can actually encourage viewers, if they know anyone who's in prison, who's a stand-up guy. Some of the prisons do video calls now, and you can record them, and they could actually send us in clips of them, and we can put their numbers up there and everything, and viewers can put money on their books and really, help the stand-up guys that are still in prison doing time. Some
Absolutely.
of the guys that aren't getting out. So I say we start, not just that wall for the people that are out, but I say we figure out a way to, create a community and get some help, even if it's...
Yeah, and plus, some of these guys and women, I'm sure they have children on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them might be young. They might need a hand.
Well, we can put it up on your social media page, and we can put information underneath it about how you can help these people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't have a voice.
Yeah.
But it's guys like myself and yourself that are outside after, paying our dues. Well, we have a voice now. We can be a voice.
Yeah.
But I love that idea about the wall, the stand-up guy wall. And I love the idea of the rat wall. I'm going to tell you what, that rat wall is going to fill up real quick, because there's a lot of them out there. So guess what, fellas? I got your name going up on the wall. I'm going to do a nice wall for you guys. That's what I'm going to do for you guys. The Hall of Fame of Rats. You earned it. You earned it. Congratulations.
What else do you want to do with the show moving forward?
Well, in particular, I just love to have people tell their stories and express themselves.
Well, you also started the Integrity Community and Course, and that's going to give your viewers...
We're going to be getting that up soon, and that'll be a 10-week course, and that really come out amazing. Different scenarios in life and how to deal with it and stuff like that. That come out amazing. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of help from that and a lot of strength from that.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Well, the community, too, for the viewers that can't make it on the show, it's going to give them the ability to tell their story about how even if they haven't been to prison, they're still living with integrity.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm excited to see, is to give a space for all of your viewers to really express how they're living with integrity.
1000%. But all I got to say is this. Stop listening to the rats. Don't give them any encouragement. They don't deserve it. Their word means nothing. Whatever they spew, majority of it is a lie. And as far as for me, keep it up. I love it.
It fuels you.
It fuels me. Exactly. 100%. It fuels me. You know why? Because I walked the walk and they didn't. Whether it was 12 years or it could have been life, didn't matter. I was still going to walk that walk.
Yeah. Well, the difference is you can take it, and anything you take becomes energy that you give right back. They can't take it.
No, they're babies.
Anything you give to them breaks them down.
They're babies.
Yeah.
They're babies.
That's the difference.
They're babies. They don't know what it is to be tough. They can give, but they can't take. A great warrior is able to give it and take it and stay there and get through the adversity to win.
Well, that's why they can be broken and you can't.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. That's the difference. That's why integrity, no matter what happens to you.
Yeah, integrity and most important about the program itself.
Yeah.
Is helping others. Really is. It really has, and it is.
Yeah.
And people,
Well, that's. I mean, I think that's
people
like
are so grateful after they're able to express themselves and have a platform where they're able to tell their story.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this platform to you isn't just about you. You didn't start this show. You didn't start this endeavor because you were saying me, 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 me. You literally wanted to start this because you said, how can I give back? How can I help other people live with integrity?
Because I believe society has gotten soft.
Yeah.
And we need to strengthen society a little bit more now.
I understand.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. This platform is about you making a contribution to society, and that's the difference.
100%.
Whereas the platform for all the rats, it's all about me, 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 me.
Yep.
That's the difference. So
I love to see. It's gratifying. I love to see people tell their stories. People who went through a lot. People who really, helped people in life and made other people better. I love seeing that.
yeah.
It's great. It really is.
And then sharing, empowering information
Exactly.
to help others.
Exactly. That's why I don't understand. Why does somebody want to listen to a rat? Because they don't have anything empowering to say.
Yeah.
They
Well,
don't.
All the attention that you give a rat is solely for their benefit at your expense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't see that, it's because they have you fooled.
Yep.
And anybody who wakes up and realizes that, they understand that this rat took advantage of me and they wanted me to give solely for their benefit, and there was nothing that was going to benefit me. And you are trying to give back. You're more focused on your viewers and what you're giving back than what they're giving to you. And the crazy thing is that because that's your focus, because you're focused on the energy that you're putting out into the world, it just means that you're getting so much more back.
Yeah,
like that's karma.
And just realize this: they're not paying me to do this. Nobody's paying me to do this.
Yep, you're paying to do this. And you're paying to do this because you have a message, you have a mission, and you care about others.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's truly admirable. Like I said, it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to do this with you and get to know you.
I've been blessed. Thank God. I've been blessed.
Yep, you have. You most definitely have.
Listen, if I were to leave this earth tomorrow, I fulfilled my life. I fulfilled it already. When I leave, I know I'm leaving something solid behind. As opposed to somebody like a rat. They're not leaving any of them good shit behind.
Well, all they did was take their whole life. They never gave to anybody else.
And they're going to keep doing that. And they're going to keep taking. And they're going to keep spewing their shit. And for people that entertain them, they just keep fueling them in that sense.
Yeah. Most definitely. Well, when they pass, it'll be time to pay the bill that they've racked up in life. That's ultimately, if there is a heaven and hell, that's the concept of hell. If there is a heaven, it's because you gave and gave and gave your entire life without expecting anything in return. And your reward is getting everything that you deserve.
Well, we accept responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Integrity is everything in life.
It is. Without it, there's nothing. With it, there's everything.
That's, these rats could say anything about me, but I walk the walk. End of fucking story. They walk the rat walk. In cheese factories, not real prisons. Because they would have never made it out.
Well, they're not even walking. They're crawling.
I say cheese factories. Meanwhile, the rats are ratting on each other in there. It's like they're eating each other. It's sick.
No, it is. I mean, Matt Cox brags about it, that he was in prison and his prison friend told him about how he still had $200,000 hidden. And you've been to prison. You know the kind of friendships you develop in prison. There's that camaraderie and there, that trust. And he said, you know what? I wonder if I can get out of prison early.
I can use this guy to get myself out of prison early.
And he went and told his attorney, and his attorney had negotiated a deal. And then he didn't even end up getting that much time off. 4 months. And the crazy thing is, he tells that story with fucking pride. Because he talks about, oh, well, why wouldn't I do that? Even if it was 4 months, it got me 4 months of my life. And it's just, the focus is...
What a scumbag.
Well, he's only focused on himself. He doesn't care. Well, I mean, for him, though, it's almost like a level of psychosis. I don't think that there is any real cost to him because I don't think he gives a fuck about anybody else. A man, there's a cost. So even if it would have gotten him 4 years off of his sentence, the cost to his character, how he felt inside, you know what I mean? That's the, I wrote an article and it said, you know, I didn't rat when I was 22 and facing 15 years because I was a coward. And I was a coward of who I would have had to have faced in that mirror if I would have fucking done that. And I don't give a shit that I did more fucking time. The threat of having to look in the fucking mirror for every last day of my life and seeing a rat fucking piece of shit, that's what I was fucking scared of.
Amen.
So somebody like Matt Cox, I don't think there's any real fucking, I don't think he has that part of him. And that's honestly something that I've really, because you look at Gene, you look at Sammy, you look at them and they all just have this immense selfishness about them where I really wonder if there is even an emotional cost, because I really don't think they give a fuck about anybody else but themselves.
They don't.
Yeah. And that's the part, I guess, where I can't believe that people would still listen to them
and gravitate to them
and gravitate towards them when it's just like, this is a piece of shit that doesn't care about you, would use you for whatever the fuck they can get out of you, and then chew you up, spit you out, and shit on you as they walked away, and they wouldn't fucking care. They wouldn't fucking care. I mean, Sammy the Bull, was it like an 8-year-old fucking boy or something? Or maybe like a 12-year-old boy, 15. I mean, 15. Still.
15.
Still.
I heard 15.
Still. I wouldn't give a fuck. If I was in that situation and you told me, hey, you fucking ratted, you get to fucking go free now, I would say thank you very much, but I killed a 15-year-old boy. I'm going to put myself in fucking prison because that's what I fucking deserve. I wouldn't give a fuck if I had a get out of jail free card. If I knew that I killed a 15-year-old boy under such disgusting fucking circumstances, I wouldn't. I would break into prison.
Listen, there's two sides to this coin. The other side is the government.
Oh, I know.
These guys, they'll have 25 bodies, 10 bodies, whatever. And the government makes the deal and says, oh, if you rat, so we could take down other guys, we'll give you 5 years. 5 years in a cheese factory, and you'll be free after that, as long as you testify. What kind of, I mean, That's a deal that the government gives?
Well, look what it did with Sammy the Bull. Look what he did afterwards.
Unbelievable.
In witness protection, and then involved in this massive fucking ecstasy ring. And the thing with Sammy the Bull and John Gotti is, I think that was just laziness on the fucking government's part. They still could have busted John Gotti without the fucking testimony of Sammy the Bull. They would have had to have worked a little bit harder. But to me, it's just, if you really are this police officer and you want to see these criminals put away because they're dangerous fucking people, then you should be motivated to work that much harder. So rather than one goes to jail and one goes free, both of them get to go to fucking prison. That's the part that gets me, is that, you know, a lot of this is just government laziness where they say, fuck it, offer them the deal. It's less work on our part.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and then the part with the fucking criminals is, the reality is, and I'll be honest with you, I blame the defense attorneys too. The criminal justice system as we know it could come to a screeching fucking halt if 5 to 10% of defense attorneys got together and said, fuck you, trial, and wouldn't fucking accept a plea. It would literally bring the court system to its fucking knees. And some people would say, okay, well, that's a bad thing. But me personally, I think especially with drugs, it would then force the government to say, hey, this hasn't worked, it's not going to work, and now it's gotten even worse. So we need to find a real solution that's actually going to stop people from using drugs and dying from fucking drugs. And the war on drugs has been an abject failure. It doesn't matter how many people we've put in prison. No one, it hasn't reduced the fucking problem.
The government has fed wars with drugs.
Yep. I know.
No one's a bigger drug dealer than the government.
Yep.
I can tell you that right now. I said it before on a show. I say it again. 60 Minutes had a segment. The DEA was told that there's a truckload of cocaine coming, 45 trailer truck load of cocaine coming in from Venezuela years back. They get the guy, they got him, the driver, they got him on the ground, and he says, I'm CIA. They bring him in, they find out he's CIA. Why were you bringing drugs into the United States, the CIA? Why would they bring it in? Because everyone was trying to fuel something one way or another and justify their job against American citizens.
Well, the CIA was using the profits that they were making to fund the wars in South America to fight fucking communism.
And in Iran, the Iran Contra
the Iran Contra affair. Yeah, it's unfucking believable, unbelievable. And then everybody's an expendable pawn when shit hits the fan.
Well, we can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
I just have to say, though, I'm happy to have this exclusive today with you, Brian. And I think we made our point. I think people that have true intelligence will probably wake up.
Well, the sad part is the ones that don't, they got about the same value as a rat.
Amen.